Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some pretty big news to go cover over here where PlayStation users are getting pretty upset once again. And well, it's kind of somewhat on valid reasons. Now, as you guys probably know, the PlayStation itself has been a, well, mostly good, well-received console in general. But when you want to go and expand out your consoles, like what Xbox is doing, the Nintendo's doing, all that, well, at the end of the day, you kind of want to go and focus on other platforms, whether it ends up being mobile, whether it ends up becoming PC, which we're going to talk about the PC side a lot throughout this video. You just have to have a chance to expand, or even how Xbox is doing, where they're somehow working in TVs for God knows why. But think about it, it kind of works. You're probably going to be watching this on a monitor or playing video games on a monitor, TV, whatever it might be, which is technically still a monitor. So at the end of the day, we're going to be expanding to other various sides. But there was a big controversy. I'm sure a lot of you guys do remember the Helldivers 2 situation where the game was pretty beloved and kind of took the wind out of its sails whenever PlayStation added the requirements to have a PlayStation Network account, and that lost specific countries, people who already bought the game. And of course, just people don't like having to do extra stuff when they didn't have to do so already. And this is where people are getting upset, because PlayStation users now have to do even more stuff for upcoming PlayStation games. People are not happy for it. PC users definitely don't like it. And I myself, I'm sitting here thinking, well, do we really need more EA launchers and other various strange things when we already do have Steam already? So let's go talk about the fact that people are very upset about this. I myself am kind of against it too, although I do want to say it's not like the biggest deal. I've dealt with it on other accounts, and I will deal with it again when it comes to PlayStation. I'm not complaining too hard where I'm like, this is the deal breaker for me, but it is a little bit annoying, and I think other people agree. So let's go talk about it. Subscribe if you guys are new, leave a like if you guys agree with the video, or just enjoy the video itself, and of course want to hear your thoughts and comments and everything down below. Subscribe here, the second YouTube and the Twitch, and let's dive on into it. So first and foremost, if you guys will have kind of missed the news forever ago, well, Helldivers had some big issues. And well, yeah, I'm sure you guys remember this, where at the time, basically there was big Helldivers 2 issues, there was backlash. There was a lot of negative reviews. Like, I'm talking a lot. Like, it was pretty controversial. I'm sure you guys have all heard about that stuff too. And if you kind of go through all the news articles and have kind of a chance to go look at it, there's just a lot. Like, there's just a lot of various things all popping over here and people calling on out. And they're even talking about there's even a Helldivers movie, which is also kind of cool too as well. But just at the end of the day, like, we were like, you looking at it and there's a lot of negative press on it. But right now, there is even more, where once again, Sony is kind of hanging on to this, where they still are going to require more PlayStation Network accounts to log into the account itself to go play things. And this is kind of going to be included for the upcoming The Last of Us Part 2 PC port. Now, once again, and I just want to reiterate this so people don't roast me too hard, I don't mind it. Like, I've done this with so many other various games, like Epic Games, Bethesda, whatever it might be, EA. But I do want to also agree is I've never liked doing it. It's one of those necessary evils where it's like, fine, if I really have to, I can. But especially on the Xbox side, I've always critiqued where, well, why? Like, if you have why do you have an Xbox launcher that launches into then a Bethesda launcher? I have to sign in on 3 different sources just to go play a game? Stupid. Same thing over here with Steam. I have to sign into my Steam account, which is usually automatically signed in, let's be real, to then go and launch up a game, say The Last of Us Part 2 on PC, and then also sign in again. Once again, this can sometimes take an extra 3 to like 15 seconds, maybe more, maybe less, or maybe up to a minute. Like, do we really care that much about a minute? No, high level, but just for the sake of conversation and the fact of, like, I would like for all these other game companies to do away with it, Ubisoft, EA, whatever. Will they ever? No, let's be real. They probably enjoy the new accounts being made and get to share with the shareholders that PlayStation made an extra 500,000 brand new PC accounts as they've been trying to expand into PC. Like, I'm sure they love this for the shareholders, but I myself don't like it. Is my video complaining about this going to change anything? Realistically, probably not, but it opens up the door for you guys to give your thoughts and comments down below. So basically, Sony has now confirmed that The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered will require a PSN login for its PC release, confirmed everywhere. While the thought of creating yet another account next to Steam, Epic, or other digital storefronts is already frustrating enough, the bigger issue lies in regions without the PSN support, which I want to dive into as well. The port is set to launch on April 3rd, 2025, but will be unavailable for players in those regions, proving Sony has learned nothing from the Helldivers 2 fiasco in May of 2024. Now, I want to break that down a little bit. So if you guys remember when it comes to the whole, like, Helldivers side, well, the big issue was that certain people bought the game. Like, certain countries bought the game because they were fine with Steam. Like, Steam themselves has the regulatory clearance to sell games and host games and license games in, like, let's say, like, Patagonia. I don't even know if that's a country. I think it is. I've heard it before, but just for the sake of it's not, let's just imagine like Turkey, you know? And then like you're living in Turkey, you're playing your games on Steam, you're playing some Dota 2 and open up some CSGO cases. And then as it's all ongoing, then you go and buy Helldivers. It's trending, it's cool, people are enjoying it, you play it for 3 months, and then you have to have this weird PlayStation account requirement, and that actually locked people out. And people were not able to have the game that they themselves bought, and that was their really big controversy because, well, it's just annoying. Now, understandably so, if like Sony doesn't have the precedent and the legal jurisdiction to go and operate and sell objects, whether it's like money licensing issues, sometimes buying stuff leads into issues because as you're buying things, well, then, well, they have like weird license, like they're basically transferring money and then you have to hold the money into a bank in say like Turkey. And if they don't legally reside there, then they have to maybe use it into a different, it's just like, it gets confusing. I'm sure you guys, if you guys ever done financial stuff, try to send money to someone like the Philippines or Mexico, wherever it might be. There's like weird restrictions. You have to use like Z-Swift. Sometimes holding money is weird. Like it's just, that's why people like Bitcoin and various like things like XRP, because in theory, those are like cryptos are just meant to facilitate those trades without having to worry about the like the legal jargon pretty much. Or like transferring from like a USD to a CAD or CAD to like a yen or yen to a euro or anything in between. But I'm kind of a little bit of a side rant over there, but basically there's just like legal reasons why they can't do it. And well, that also kind of screws over certain countries because they're not allowed to even play the game then. And well, it's all just due to the fact that they want to have these PlayStation Network accounts. And people are not happy with it because once again, there was a big backlash when Helldivers 2 was announced to require this PSN login for PC players. And there was like a lot of negativity and like the game got review bombed, kind of somewhat rightfully so. But there's also that's like their consistency. So it kind of has the two parts where number one, it's annoying, yes, but number two, this is like what they want. Like it's probably some, or maybe their own lawyers are saying like you got to make sure we have the licenses I just was talking about to make sure we can operate there. And if Steam could somehow wiggle room it, well, let's not risk it. We're a multi-billion-dollar company. We got to like make sure we don't get sued by like Turkey. You know, I get it. But they have been having things like Horizon Zero Dawn Remaster, Ghost of Tsushima Until Dawn, and a lot of other various games out there, including God of War Ragnarok. And well, once again, it's not the biggest deal. I will just like shut up and make my account. You make the account one time and you can start getting trophies. Like it's a benefit. It's not the world's worst thing. But obviously people are just annoyed by it. Like it's, I don't know. This is like one of those like funny things where people like just, they don't like it, but they don't mind. They'll do it, but like they don't like it. I've been having to say, but I think it's fun. It's more humorous to me. It's annoying because certain people in certain countries cannot play their games, or like the Helldivers issue is kind of a big deal. I mean, 30, 40 bucks is not the biggest deal, but some people are doing microtransactions or play with their friends or whatever. Like I get that. But I mean, this isn't the biggest deal, but it is annoying enough where people are complaining. Like you have people over here saying like, yeah, when are they just going to go and learn? And they say they've been seeing people have no problems with creating EA or Ubisoft or Activision accounts separately for the games they bought on Steam. So they're like, well, why can't we? Why can't we make PlayStation accounts? We already say to our shareholders we want to expand into PC, so why can't we? Why can't we? Why can't we? They're saying, when do you learn to create a PSN account? It's free, idiot. So some people are obviously going to be a little on the testy side, but basically probably just saying like, what's the big deal? It's free. And I do kind of agree. It's not the biggest deal. You make it one time, you sign on in, but I do on a high level. This is me just complaining just to complain, let's be honest. But like sometimes there's things like those EA accounts, they get bugged up. Or like I said, you have to launch Xbox to then launch Bethesda just to go and launch a game. And even then there's still issues and takes a long time. Like it's not the biggest deal, but if you're a gamer like me, I've definitely played a lot of games, those extra like 2 to 3 to 4 minutes can kind of take it, like it adds up a lot. Like I have probably spent hours of my life, which once again, don't worry, I understand, like it's kind of like not the biggest deal for me to complain about, like 2 hours for me sending 2 accounts. It's like, I don't worry, the world has bigger problems right now, I understand. But like, it's just one of those small things where it's like, does it really matter? Does it really kind of care? But once again, I think a lot of people are more focused on the fact of the country issue, that certain countries are completely taken on out. Or maybe you had a chance to play The Last of Us Part 1 on maybe the PS4, or maybe on PC, and then now you can't even go play the next iteration because you're not in the random country that they're allowed into. Now, once again, a lot of the sales are in like America, Japan, the UK, so they're not really kind of hurting too bad, but at the same time too, they're saying there might be a PlayStation Store coming. I think if Steam works, it might be fine. They're also saying that there's never going to learn, and they think that people just create these just to play the games, and that's the goal, to increase the amount of PSN users so they can satisfy their shareholders to get more money, which I'd probably agree on that too as well. And then some people are kind of like, meh, like PSN removal for mods out there, and there's a lot more obviously when it comes to Twitter. I just kind of felt like the Reddit post is kind of an easy thing to collectively show everything, but people were complaining on Twitter and these Reddit, like these random articles and all that stuff. But I want to hear your thoughts. Like, I don't think it's the biggest deal. like I said, but I can kind of see why people get upset, especially if you're in these banned countries. And it is kind of just annoying that a lot of these game companies are kind of taking us for granted at the end of the day. So I just want to hear your thoughts and comments on everything down below. Make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. With the Twitters down below, the Twitch is down below, and I appreciate y'all so much for watching in the first place.